I'm Isalina Sanchez, and this is a project called Adi. I feel like fashion was a way of me expressing who I was, and like, fuck you everybody, this is me no matter what. I would dress very odd and quirky, not only because it was my style, but because those were the things that fit. And at the same time, sometimes things that were trendy will fit me differently, so that would make me stand out because they would be like really baggy or really short, because if they fit me lengthwise, they wouldn't fit me widthwise. So I had to always like make it my own.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Blake.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Renee Watson. Typically I go by Vanessa Renee, and so that's me.
My name is Trance Smith. Ask me anything you want.
So how do you identify yourself and why?
I identify myself as a Black gay man and artist. Those are the three things that really define me. And I've been working on it for a long time, and I think it just really sums up who I am.
I was born assigned male. I was born to two African American parents. And I identify as a female.
I identify myself as a wonderful, fabulous human being, yes, and also as a queer woman of color.
Why?
Why? Because I am a queer woman of color, and an artist, and a student, and an entrepreneur, mainly an entrepreneur, but queer because that is the identity that I have grown to know as me, and that resonates, and that's my choice.
I consider myself femme presenting, so I would say I'm on that side of the spectrum in terms of gender presentation. I usually tend to go more for a little bit more on the ambiguous side of femininity, but I still definitely get it across, especially through makeup as well. When I wear things that I would consider femme presenting, I would say that it represents me, who I am inside. If I were to wear something a little bit straighter, depending on the cut or the color or whatever it may be.
Okay, fashion has a lot to do with my identity. It's been instilled in me since I was a kid. My mom made all my clothes because when I was growing up, I was very thin, and a lot of the clothes from the store didn't fit me. So she started making my clothes, and she made my suits, she made coats, and she made all her own clothes. So as time went on, it just became a part of me without really even thinking about it. And as I was becoming an artist, and at that time I was becoming a singer, I had different artists that I really related to, like David Bowie, Prince, Jody Watley, and a few others who, they were different. And I started expressing myself to that. So I would go to vintage stores and get, things that were old and then added it with something that was new.
Traditionally, when I first started to recognize my queerness, it actually did not give me power. It was rather disempowering because I am on the feminine side of the equations. And I think that dealing with my queerness at the same time, it got regulated to not quote unquote being gay enough or being readable, and at a time trying to figure out how to navigate spaces and still hold on to what felt real and authentic to myself. And figuring all that out, it was a process. It didn't just happen overnight. And then I think that I got to a point where I recognized that my fashion and how I dress and how I present myself is me, and that you either like it or you don't, and that I don't have to justify or accentuate my queerness by the way that I dress. And there isn't any quota that I have to fill, and my femininity is not regulated to a specific way of being. And then it became empowering, and now it's like I wear whatever I want to wear because I wear it. Because comfort is key at this point too. Like, I may try and be cute and all, but I'm over shoes that hurt, I'm over clothes that are uncomfortable, all those sorts of things.
As an artist, you work multiple jobs. And one of my jobs I wear customer service. I have to wear a uniform. And I wear red and khakis, which is two things I do not wear. And it's been difficult because I feel like it's so restrictive, and everyone's dressed the same. And I try to change it up and wear like a designer shoe with it to kind of, break it up for me. But I find uniforms are very restrictive. I don't like uniforms. So at the end of the day, I'm so glad to get into my regular clothes. I even have my coworkers, when I get in my regular clothes, they don't recognize me because I look totally different than I do in a uniform.
Finding clothing that I identify with, I definitely endure difficulties every day, I would say. A lot of the time it's harder to find something that fits me because I am plus sized. So I take that into account. I also take into account what I feel comfortable in cut-wise.
I believe that there's always something to learn, that it doesn't stop at a certain age, that it keeps going. And I'm doing things now in my life that I didn't do when I was in my 20s and 30s, and people have told me, no. I had someone say to me, and it still sticks with me and it keeps me going. I had someone say to me, he's like, oh, you had a good run. Like I was a used car. And that just stayed with me, and I always fought against it, and just keep trying things that I want to do. And there's so many things that I want to do, and I'm doing it.